So what we have here is a 232 Sportsman Open. Show you a little bit of the things that I like about this boat and things that I think they could have done differently. Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm Chris, this is the Salty Strikes Fishing Channel, and today we're not fishing. Joe here got a new boat and I wanted to share it with you guys. He was asking me a few things about like, oh, what are you looking for when you're looking for an offshore fishing boat? And I was like, these are the things that I kind of would like to have when I'm looking for an offshore fishing boat. And he went out and bought one that pretty much hit all the check marks. So we're going to kind of go over that today and show you what he has. So stick around and check it out. All right, guys. So what we have here is a 232 Sportsman Open, and it's about 23.5 feet long. He's got a 300 horsepower Yamaha on the back, and this thing's pretty awesome because it doesn't have any cable or hydraulic steering. It just is fly-by-wire. The controls, just tell it what to do, and it's got, electric motors that tell it to turn and everything like that. And it has a pretty awesome, it's all like a push-button start. And the throttle's really nice, it's easy, and it's got a couple little buttons on here. Like if you just want to, if you're trolling or you're going slow, you can hit this little button and it just bumps up like 50 RPMs at a time. So that's pretty sweet. They may come with different motors on it, but he got the 300, which pushes this thing just fine. And we're just gonna go, we'll start here in the back and we'll show you a little bit of the things that I like about this boat and things that I think they could have done differently. But right here in the back, they have this awesome bench seat. It just folds out and it's super comfy, and it leaves room in this whole back area so you can fold away and, for all the fishability back here. And speaking of fishability, they have this awesome live well here that is an aquarium style where you can see your bait, what's going on, and your water level. If anything's going funky, you'll know about it. You don't have to open up and see. And it's about a 30-gallon, which is pretty nice for this size boat. But what they are missing back here is rod holders. They have lots of cup holders back here, but they could use some more rod holders, and Joe has plans on installing some rod holders back here. But they do have rod holders on this back seat, which nobody ever uses these. Well, some people may, but nobody I know really uses these for rods. They always wind up holding tools and stuff like that. So actually, I think they would be better off if they made something more tool friendly here. But like they had integrated some drawers down here below, and they have this awesome rollout thing for a cooler down here that you can take on and off if you need to. But they do have some nice fish boxes up front too, which we'll go over in just a minute. But they have 5 rod holders up here at the top, rocket launchers, and that's pretty nice. And they have 2 little like outrigger rocket launchers for trolling purposes. And it's a nice little hard top. They got lights everywhere on this thing. Probably way more than you need. But there's lights back here, lights up here, lights down there. There's lights everywhere in this thing. And that's one of the things, like a few lights are okay with me, but I think they kind of overdid it with the lights. But, that's nitpicking little things. But they do have a freshwater and a raw water wash down. So if you just want to wash up with your hands and stuff with fresh water, you can do that. Or if you're just hosing down the boat and you just scrub it down, they have the raw water wash down also. So that's kind of nice that you have 2. Like on my boat, I only have the raw water. I don't have any fresh water. So that's pretty awesome. And let's go look up here at this console. It has 2 places you can put 2 12-inch screens up here. And one of the awesome things is it's got wireless charging for your phone. You can just set it up over here on the counter and let it charge away. You don't have to worry about being offshore and it's like searching for signal, and you get back to shore and you realize your battery's dead because it's fighting for a signal so hard. Like USB charging ports like all over the place up here, which is fantastic, which is pretty normal for everything. They have tempered glass up here, which is pretty great for like when you get into some bad weather and that water maybe splashing over, and it's going to keep you nice and dry. And they have some awesome seats here too. They fold out. They're going to keep you steady. They got the arms that come down, and when you're heading offshore, like I took a little ride in this thing, and you feel real comfortable in it. Like you know, you're not going to slide out of the seat or anything like that. And it's still, the big thing with these seats is a lot of times these seats wind up eating into your fishing space back here, but they don't eat too much. There's plenty of room back here to fish around and fight fish and move and bring fish aboard and hold fish and whatever you need to do back here. And that's a big problem I see with you know, some smaller boats is they put so much on the console that eats up into this room, and they didn't do that with this one, which I really like. And then another thing I really like about this is it's got the pretty high gunnels. I like to have gunnels where they where my knees can at least get into them. If it's below my knees, then I don't have that stability. And I don't like them when they're kind of leaned outwards. So, because if you have to lean into it and you're putting your body weight this way, you know, if you get too much going that direction, you're going over. So I feel, you know, like I would be real secure and safe in here. Like if we're fighting fish and it's wavy, I can just, you know, push up a knee up against here, and I want to stay inside this boat. And it's pretty wide and plenty of room. And we'll head upstairs and we'll come take a look up here. It's got 3 boxes up here. You can use one for like a, you know, put fish in, and then another one for dry. And it's got this huge one down here at the bottom that you can store, like, you know, all your life vests and safety gear or whatever. Or you can use that for a fish box too, because it drains out also. And it's massive. There's lots of storage in this thing. It's huge. It's no joke how much storage is in here. And then they have another little cooler right up here underneath this front seat, which is pretty awesome. You know, you can just throw your drinks and stuff in there. There's plenty of cubby holes for everywhere. But there's one little thing that they kind of messed up on up here at the front. We got a Minn-Kota trolling motor up here, and when they mounted this thing, you know, this is not Sportsman. I'm sure the dealership probably did this or whatever, but they mounted it right on top of the cleat. So if you get a trolling motor mounted, make sure they scoot it over enough so you can get that cleat up, just in case you ever do have to throw anchor. You still got a cleat up here. There's no cleats right here. You have some mid cleats and then some back cleats. So there's nothing in between this one and that one. Well, there is a cleat inside the anchor locker, but then you got your, you know, it's hanging off. But that's just something you may want to remember if you do order one of these things and get a trolling motor put on. But it does come with some nice cushions and all that mess, with some seats that rest back here, but they're not on this one. And honestly, I would never use them because, you know, I'm a fishing charter captain, and we don't lounge around. We don't hang out at the sandbar. We just fish. So this boat is very fishable. I would you know, I have to say, I would add a few more. You know, you can never have enough rod holders, especially like, you know, if somebody else is hooked up and they need you right now, you need to put your rod head, you know, I hate having to look for somewhere to put it. You know, I just like to have somewhere go grab the net, help your buddy out. So, but most boats don't come with a ton, but you can always add those later in, and Joe, I think, has plans to add quite a few. So stay tuned for maybe some updates later down the road. But it's got speakers all over the place, down below, up high, in the back. And once again, I'm a YouTuber, so those are useless to me because you get demonetized. You know, so I never run them. But if you're, you know, the kind that likes to cruise with the tunes, you know, this got more tunes than you could shake a stick at. It's got speakers all over the place, and I'm sure it's probably plenty loud enough for you to hear when you're underway and then you got that wind going. So, but like I said, it's got lights everywhere, and it seems to have pretty good drainage around here too. There's a drain right down here. There's 2 drains in the back, and we come over here, and it's got plenty of room for the 3 rods down on the side, which is nice. But there is one thing I don't like is I wish they had the inserts that go all the way in so that your rods would slide inside the inserts. These are just like an opening with a seal on it, so that, but your line and everything could wear on that stuff. And I've never really been a big fan of that. I changed mine out so that I have inserts in there so that my lines and rod eyelets don't get messed up when you're pulling them in and out. Overall, honestly, if I was to get another boat, I would probably seriously think about this one. I think they run between 80 to, you know, 110, depending on how much, you know, fancy stuff you want to get on it. But this is a great all-around like fishing boat. You know, it is for a 1 engine, you know, under 25 feet. This is a lot of boat for what you get. Oh, I forgot to mention too is it's got an awesome space inside for like a head. You get your batteries and all your wires and everything, easy to access stuff down there. There's even room for you to put a porta potty or something down there. There's lots of room down there for that. And that was like a must have for when we bought our boat. My wife said she had to somewhere just in case she had to go. And so she's not going in a bucket. So that's awesome. There's plenty of room in here if that's what, if you need that kind of space and that kind of stuff you're looking for. But overall, I would highly recommend it. I've only been on this thing once, but I already would like to have one. I'm pretty happy with my boat, but if I was to get another one, I would definitely consider getting this one. This is the Sportsman 232 Open. It's pretty fantastic. Like, it hits all of my high points. It's got the gunnels that I like. It's got the clearance back here for fishability. It's got nice comfy seats, some good instrument panels. You can fight fish all the way around it. It's big enough to fit several people in here easily. That's what I'm looking for. Just need a few more rod holders and it'll be good to go. Thank you so much for coming. And until we see you next time, guys, stay salty.